Here we are in the simulation of the tunnels that lead to Rosalila. This is all made by the people here in Honduras, and they did this as to represent almost exactly the true building that is underneath and where this big building is settled down and is under the tunnel. So now we're going to come to see Rosalila and its plenitude, because this is a replica that is exactly the same scale as it is in the tunnels, the real tunnels. So there she is, and we're going to go around and we're going to see them all.
Son 7 pájaros en su contorno. Bukukakish, 7 males de la sangre. Vamos a entrar a Rosalila. Está construido uno a uno. Esos son los expansores de la parte de la bóveda que está allá arriba. Esos se expanden para que la bóveda no se venga metiendo hacia adentro. Y luego el sófito allá arriba. Este es el cuarto del oeste y este es el cuarto sur. Y aquí está el cuarto del sur. Tiene uno al centro, 2 al centro, perdón. Y está igual, con sus expansores, el cierre de la bóveda y el sófito arriba. Los rojos que tiene son originales también, esta parte de aquí. Y ese es el cielo de la boca, dando por la puerta. Y este es la salida hacia el sur. Aquí están los pájaros. Junto a él están los tragaluces que entraban la luz al cuarto, que es semi oscuro, porque son solo esas partes donde entraba la luz. Hasta el tercer nivel. Allá en la parte alta se ven los tragaluces.
This is the south side, the west, and this is the south. I'm going to admire the whole thing from here. And this is buried over there at the real site, and they make a big replica here of it and the scale to a natural size. So we continue walking, and as you can see, this is being preserved and continually working on it, because the paint, the red paint, falls and they have to redo it all the time because of the material they use. So these mascarons are 7 of them all around that represent Ukupkakish. This is the north side. As you can see, all the masks are represented very clearly. And here is one stela which has up on top the glyph that represents the name of Copan. As you can see, all of it is being written down. This is a stela A, and one of the most populars here was dedicated on 9.15.0.3.012 Ahau 13 Mach, or AD 7 through 31. Here we go. The other side is also full of written down interpretation that will be a little bit difficult to read, but they were able to. There is Fernando! And we have a big building here. We're gonna move back. Okay, over here we have another building. Hopefully we can show you all the building. So as you can see up there is the escribano, or the writer personage, who has his hands ready to write. We continue. You can see the jaguar claws over there on both sides. And down here is another jaguar with the hands of an eagle. One detail we have shown in this building is that the jaguar is representing nighttime. The eyes up there show they are closed, and the big wings represent also that they are coming from the night and as the underworld for the nighttime and the presence of the gods into the ceremonial part of it. Two of the platforms of the staircase platforms show in structure 16 are shown prehistoric. The lowest is the T-shaped formed by the skeletal head in a huge Tlaloc mask. And because of the staircase represents a big story of Copan, there you can see all the skulls being set into it. So this is just part of it, because all the reading is on the staircase beginning from here, which is not in the building, but it will be soon built up. Some other parts of it that are not completed. And over here, in this one, the representation is that the 16 kings of Copan are represented. When we were at the site, Fernando mentioned them, and he explained how it was excavated. So here we have it in a replica inside the museum. Up on top is the big story of it, so hopefully we can see it. Continue. Right here is the first one and the last one, but you can see here something very special is happening. This is a female, and they call him, "You are the Lord among us," which represents that she was the king and he was dead, passing along the power to the son. And as you can see, the glyph says so. Okay. So over here, the mouth of a monster. This is part of the staircase too, and represent the different carving here are seen to the uppermost of the tree. It was too tall to be resembled. About the other two on the staircase to the right. It is a large open mouth of a carved monster. Inside the mouth is a seated captive tied with ropes. which right now we only can see part of it because it's being destroyed. So now we have another pyramid here, another stela, which represents again the big first, the Kinich Yash Kukmo as the first ruler, with another face in his chest which represent his son or the sun as a new ruler. We go around so we can read, you can see how up there is the symbol of Copan, and all the reading down tells the story about what that represents. Here we go. Right there at the end, on the wall, hopefully we can see a little bit, is a plaque that says, "In memory of Linda Shield." She died, and as I have been telling you the story, Fernando, a friend of hers, his wife actually was her cook, and when she died, she asked them to bury it here in Guatemala, so they buried her in Atitlan, and she asked for a couple of seeds of the big ceiba that is, you will see it in the other video, to be planted on top of her grave. They did, and those two ceibas now are crossed together. Linda Shield was able to translate into Spanish or into English all of these glyphs here. She dedicated her life to work on it. So all of this that is here, she worked on it to translate it into English to the new language. And over here is Yak, which is always in the corners of the buildings, and he is the king, the god of the rain. And Yak is being represented in many different ways, especially in Mexico. There is buildings dedicated to him because over there is not really fertile land and doesn't rain too often. So they try to make sure that him and Tlaloc stay together. Tlaloc is the god of the war, but Yak is the king, the god of the rain. And over here we have the building of the escriba, or the writer person, the one that was able to write and describe the activities that were made by the kings. And over there, as you can see, this one has the ink in one hand, and the other one is saying waiting. Over here, sitting down, waiting for the time to write. This one here without a head shows his pen and his ink. And over here, it's a little bit more clear, but he shows that. He has a pen and he has his ink over there. Here we have the court and the Petate building, which means this is the math, and with the math they rule for the people that commit any kind of crimes, and they were judged here. So when they did that, as you know, the Popol Vuh means the math of the people, and the math is what they wrote, all what they're doing for the rulers. So this represents here the place where they were brought in and judged for what they did as a crime. Very good. So we'll continue. We'll have another view of this building from this side. And you can see the main character is the math, because they wrote the rules and dictate sentence to the people that were brought in for their crimes. See these holes here? And I show you the other one that were big masks, so they were inserted in here, and the mask was here, representing what they wanted to show. Now we have a bench here where the scribas used to work and meditate. This is the celestial bench. And as you can see through the glyphos, you can see the people meditated. You can see the people in ecstasy, I will say, to their meditations. And the mascarons in between represent the spiritual way of doing things. This is the facade of the ball court. As you can see, the Macau's heads are right there. And you can actually see the corner here where it's incrustated into the wall. And they were able to take them out. And of course, there was heavy stuff that they moved. Here it is, the one in the middle. And they also represented, as according to the lecture given by Fernando, that they were able to detect how the sun was illuminating the area in the morning and in the afternoon. And the different angles show how the Macaos were illuminated by the sun as they move around. And here is the big one. This is a replica of the main Macao in the ball court, or the puck in Quiche. And finally, today, we have this face, which really represents a human face, and is the head of the elder, Pagua Tum. The Maya believe that the old deity is called Pagua Tum, held up the surface of the earth. So that's why they made this big mask representing the elders. Well, from the Museum of Culture in Copan, this is Mystic Moto. And you know what I said. Subscribe, give us a like, write a comment. How do you like what we presented today? And I'll see you on the road. Have a nice day.